Hey y'all, it's Diana V coming to you once again. I hope you guys missed me. I wanted to come to you with another MBLEx related video, and this time I'm going to be going through, at least attempting to go through, 9 study skills that I think would help you in terms of studying for the MBLEx. Number one, that is to not study the day of or the night before the exam. So that's number one. Number 2 is to use all classroom and homework assignments as study materials. Number 3 is to take short breaks. They recommend that you study for 10 minutes, take a short break, and then resume to study for another 10 minutes. Because what they say, it's called posterior effect, in which you only really retain the beginning of the information that you study in the end, not really the middle. That's why they recommend that you take breaks. Number 4 is to study one topic at a time. That way you eliminate confusion, and then you learn one thing and then you move to the next. So number five would be to take notes of the information that you study, the things that you're not familiar with, and the things that you don't recognize. So that is number 5. Number 6 would be to assign yourself study tips, reports, and assignments. That way you will most likely retain the information because of simply submersion. They call it submersion, where you just study that one particular thing at that time. So submersion, by assign yourself things that you have question about, and that way you kind of get it down. Number 5 is to study the topic that you're not comfortable with, the one that's most difficult. You should actually study the information that you're not comfortable with, because the more often you expose yourself to that, the easier it'll be. And you rather, spend 80% of your time learning the weaker lessons and 20 on the things that you're comfortable with. So that would just be review. Number 6, I believe it is to teach the things that you want to learn. Teach the things that you want to learn. So, for example, if you have to, like I'm doing right now, I'm actually telling you something that I learned, and you want to do it right away. So when you learn something, whether you do a video, whether you teach a friend or a colleague, you definitely want to try to teach the things that you want to learn, because then you know for sure that you know the information. Let's see, I think I'm missing one. I lost count, but the last one is ensure that you understand the information that you are studying. Okay? So there's a couple other ones that I'd like to say. And when I talked about submersion, I also watch short videos on topics, because there's your 5 senses, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can taste, smell, things like that. That way, that's why they say, hey, you might want to have classical music while you're listening, while you're studying. You want to pick a steady time and a steady day of the time and amount to study. So they say you should study at least 80 hours of this information as a whole. If you study about 8 hours, which would be the equivalent of maybe 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how many hours you do a day. If you do a couple of hours a day, definitely one thing you want to do in terms of studying the lesser or the most difficult one. A lot of times, let's just say kinesiology, which is the movement of the body, where the muscle inserts, where it originates, and where it inserts, what action it does, as well as the synergist, which are the muscles that move with that particular muscle, and the synergist, which works against. The location and the bony landmark. You want to learn those things for each muscle while you're going through, let's just say, for example, the first thing that I've gone through is medical terminology. Why? Because medical terminology is the language of the topic. It's the language of the material. So most likely, if you know what those word roots are, the suffixes, the prefixes, a lot of times you can just learn different things, break down a word, and things like that. So that's kind of my 2 cents on the last two. I got this information from David Merlindo's book titled it's the Massage Prep Study Guide, the 2022-2023. Pick it up. It's part of a tutoring program I picked up just to make sure that I had an edge, because we are in the Pass the MBLEx, the first time club. If you're joining me, let me know. I'm part of the Pass the MBLEx, the first time club. The other thing, I wanted to give you a bonus, right? And I want to kind of get this out, first of all, because I should be putting out material all the time so that you guys know that I'm actually on my game. And so I wanted to give you a bonus. And that bonus is, I think it's 5 ways to reduce test anxiety. And I learned these 2 different topics yesterday. So that's why I'm a little hesitant when I'm going through, but I wanted to kind of go through without looking at notes. I just did an hour at the library. I wrote out the teres minor muscle and all the different things that I just talked about, action, innervation, origin, things like that. Moving on. So the 5 test reduction tips. The first one is not to study. Wait. They might not be all in order, and I might have to make a follow-up video. But one of them is to study consistently. There you go. Study consistently. That will be part of the reduction of your anxiety. So studying consistently, which will lead to number 2, which is to stay positive. Do not start thinking about, oh my God, it's so hard. I don't know if I'm going to pass. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. You have to say who you are. Number 1, everyone will go off of what you believe about yourself. So if you believe you're going to pass that test the first time, why not, right? Put your words out there. So that's number 2, is stay positive. Number 3 on reducing test anxiety would be I know one of them is to work out at least 20 minutes before the exam. I will attest to the fact that I started working out at 5:30. And since I started working out at 5:30, sorry, I did mess something up with the picture. When I started working out at 5:30 in the morning, I had no excuse but to study. So let's see. There's another one here. I'm reducing your test anxiety. Oh, take your time. Take your time. Take your time on the test. You have 2 hours. You have 2 hours. Hopefully that helps. You have 2 hours to take this test. So, yeah, my breakthrough was actually starting to work out. And when I'm actually doing stretches, I will hopefully do some videos with some stretches that I think are beneficial for massage therapists, because you can end up getting sore. I did a party with one of my best friends. She actually sells body butters, oils, things like that. And she had like a little introductory party. And I said, hey, I wouldn't mind giving, free massages. That way people know this is before school. So now I'm starting to drum up the buzz. And it came out successfully. So we'll probably partner up again. I got a few leads, and this is part of my journey of not having to go out in the cold, stay in the warm. I did network marketing for 5 years, and what I did learn is that it's always better to have word of mouth and to know people that you know. So referral-based business. That way you can go mobile. You don't have to rent out any place. You can charge a little bit more for giving that service. Nobody really wants to go in this time of monkeypox and COVID coming back up. They rather have you come to them, and it makes it just better all the way around. So, and then you can kind of just make sure that you let them know, hey, I'm going to let you know when I graduate. And matter of fact, I have another party based on that party, so it's already starting to spread very quickly. But I've been waiting. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go downtown at the Riverwalk and do this nice little video. But I just left the library, literally. And I'm like, you know what? I'm up here in the car, about to do some other stuff. And I said, no, I have to put out some content. The MBLEx study video has done very well. Thank you all that have viewed that. This is the follow-up on MBLEx study tips and study tips for taking any exam. If I missed one because I've memorized that, I'm so proud of myself because I retained it without looking at notes. I didn't look at the notes. It's been like a day and a half since I've looked at the notes, and I've already retained the information that I just taught you. So we will have study with Diana V, study with me, the MBLEx exam. I'm not sure what I'm going to label it as, but I might just have you guys study with me, and we might just start going over some medical terms to motivate you guys to start studying. Because the first thing is not that you are not competent, you are. It's not that you won't, but it's just that you don't, right? You think, oh, well, maybe I'll do it next week. Maybe I'll start doing it next week, maybe tomorrow, and it never comes. And all of a sudden you got 2 weeks and now you're cramming, and we all know that cramming is not going to work. You cannot think that you're going to take a bunch of tests through any of these sites, and just because you have been taking them and scoring good, well, I guess if you took a test 100 times, you're going to memorize that information. But do know that information is not going to come as you're reading it. They're going to switch it up. So you do have to know the information. So make sure that you understand it. Make it fun. This is your profession. They say that you have to have over 1,000 hours to become an expert in your industry. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, I didn't want the car on, so I'm up here. It's been like in the triple digits all week long here in Georgia, practically a heat wave. But that was it. I definitely plan on doing some more videos on relevant study taking tips, because it's something that I'm actually doing right now, and I think that you guys would be motivated if you see someone else doing it. If there's any questions, if there's any topics you want me to cover in terms of the MBLEx or massage school in general, or let me know. Please like and subscribe. I love each and every one of you guys, and remember, use the gifts God gave you. Hallelujah. See you next time. Bye. Mwah.